welcome to Midday Update. Coming up are the headlines for the day. Students create the first Omani investment platform. Over 90 environmental permits issued. Oman condemns attack at Sinai in Egypt. Emmanuel Macron sworn in for the second term. Cuba hotel explosion death toll rises to 32 with 19 missing. Foreign diplomats and rights groups decry Sri Lanka's state of emergency. Jabir makes history and Alcaraz shows he's the future in Madrid Open. Liverpool and Tottenham's draws does a favour to Manchester City and Arsenal as Watford relegated. Those were the headlines. We'll take a short commercial break and we'll be back with the local stories for the day. Stay tuned.
Oman's largest online supermarket now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, you order, we deliver.
Looking for that ease of living in this beautiful country? Watch our weekly show Tea Talk every Wednesday at 8 p.m. where we'll be discussing the latest news, updates, and what's buzzing on the social media.
Welcome back to Midday Update. Now for the local stories. Omani students have created the first Omani investment platform to create an appropriate environment for investment and to facilitate the investment process. A student company from the University of Technology and Applied Sciences in Sohar succeeds in creating the first Omani investment platform, administratively and financially, under the name of Semsar, which was recently shown at the Injaz Oman exhibition, Oman News Agency said in a statement. The company works by creating an electronic platform whose mission is to create an appropriate environment for investment and facilitate the investment process with the aim of linking entrepreneurs and investors in one place in an easy and smooth manner. More than 90 environmental permits have been issued for individuals in South Al Bathana Governorate in 2021. The total environmental permits for individuals in the Governorate of South Al Bathana for the year 2021 amounted to about 95, including 71 for logging and 24 for the possession of wildlife bred by families, in addition to the cultivation and distribution of nearly 13,000 wild seedlings, Oman News Agency said in a statement. The Foreign Ministry has denounced and expressed its condemnation of the attack that targeted a site in West Sinai in the Arab Republic of Egypt, which resulted in the death and injury of a number of members of the Egyptian armed forces. The ministry said the following in a statement. The ministry has expressed the Sultanate of Oman's solidarity with the sisterly Arab Republic of Egypt and its support for the measures it is taking to maintain its security and stability. The attack targeted a water pumping station western Sinai, which resulted in the death and injury of a number of members of the Egyptian armed forces. Oman also expressed sincere condolences and sympathy to the families of the victims and wished for a speedy recovery for the injured in the statement. With that, we'll take a short break and we'll be back with the international and sports stories for the day. Stay tuned.
Oman's largest online supermarket now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, you order, we deliver.
Welcome back to Midday Update. Now for the international stories. French President Emmanuel Macron was sworn into office for a second term on Saturday after his election victory over far-right rival Marine Le Pen. Speaking at the investiture ceremony at the Élysée Palace in Paris, Macron promised to first take action to avoid further escalation following Russia's aggression in Ukraine. In his short speech to nearly 500 invited guests, the president spoke of the need to innovate at a time of unprecedented challenges for the world. He said his second term would be new and not merely a continuation of his first 5 years in office. Macron answered criticisms from many voters who say he came across as out of touch and arrogant during his first term. He promised to act with respect and consideration. He also vowed to build a planet that is more livable, a France that is more alive, and a stronger France. He also spoke of making schools more inclusive and making the health system more accessible. Macron's main domestic challenge will be the cost of living crisis amid plans to introduce changes to France's pension systems, raising the retirement age. The death toll from the gas explosion at the Saratoga Hotel in Havana has risen to 32, with 19 people missing, sources reported on Saturday, citing Gloria Bonin, the provincial head of the Family Reconnection Front of the Red Cross. Earlier in the day, the reported casualties included 25 dead and more than 60 hospitalized people. On Friday, a powerful explosion destroyed the Saratoga Hotel, located in front of the National Capitol building in Cuba's Havana. The hotel was scheduled to reopen after the pandemic on May 10th, and no visitors were staying there at the time of the blast. The explosion severely damaged the front part of the building up to the 5th floor and several neighboring buildings. The authorities said the explosion was an accident, stressing that the hotel's gas equipment and contractors had all necessary permits and licenses. Foreign envoys to Sri Lanka and rights groups on Saturday expressed concern over the declaration of a state of emergency by President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. They fear that police might use force against peaceful protesters amid the country's worst economic crisis in recent memory. U.S. Ambassador to Sri Lanka Julie Chung wrote on Twitter that she is concerned by the state of emergency, adding that the voices of peaceful citizens need to be heard. Canadian High Commissioner to Sri Lanka David McKinnon said Sri Lankans have a right to peaceful protest under democracy and that it is hard to understand why it is necessary then to declare a state of emergency. The economic and political situation in the Indian Ocean island nation has triggered countrywide protests demanding the resignation of Rajapaksa and his powerful ruling family. Rajapaksa on Friday issued a decree declaring a public emergency. He invoked sections of the Public Security Ordinance that allows him to make regulations in the interest of public security and preserving public order and for the maintenance of essential supplies. Under the emergency regulations, Rajapaksa can now authorize detentions, seize possession of the property and search any premises. He can also change or suspend any law. Police used tear gas and a water cannon twice on Friday as protesters near the parliament who were criticizing lawmakers for not ousting the president and his government, whom they say are responsible for the economic crisis, sources reported. Protesters are angry that lawmakers elected a government-backed deputy speaker of parliament by a large majority when the protesters say they should be voting Rajapaksa's government out of power. And now for the sports stories. 19-year-old Carlos Alcaraz continued his incredible run in the Mutual Madrid Open on Saturday when he beat top seed Novak Djokovic to book his place in the tournament final. Following Friday's 3-set win over his idol Rafael Nadal, Alcaraz continued his momentum with another 3-set marathon against Djokovic. I congratulate him. He kept his nerves very well. It's incredible that someone of his age has so much maturity and courage. He deserved to win, said Djokovic after the match. Meanwhile, Alcaraz, who is the youngest ever finalist in Madrid, said it was a match to enjoy. After marathon semi-final, Ons Jabeur won the women's final with a 7-4-5, 0-4-6, 6-4-2 win over Jessica Pegula to become the first Arab woman to ever win a WTA 1000 event. The Tunisian number 8 seed recovered from a complete loss of form in the second set to beat Pegula, who had been ranked 12th in the tournament. Manchester City has the chance to move 3 points clear at the top of the Premier League if they can beat Newcastle United at the Etihad Stadium on Sunday, after Liverpool was held to a 1-1 draw at home to Tottenham on Saturday night. Song Heung-min put Tottenham ahead in the 56th minute, but Luis Diaz levelled with a deflected effort with 15 minutes left to play. The draw also meant that Arsenal can open a 4-point advantage over Tottenham ahead of next week's North London derby if they can beat Leeds United on Sunday. Manchester United cannot qualify for next season's Champions League after being humiliated 4-0 away to Brighton. Moses Caicedo opened the scoring for the home side in the 15th minute, and after Marc Cucurella doubled the home side's advantage in the 49th minute, United fell apart with Pascal Gross and Leandro Trossard adding further goals in the 57th and 60th minutes. The visitors' supporters ended the match signing "You're not fit to wear your shirt" to the United players. Watford's relegation to the Championship was certified by a 1-0 defeat away to Crystal Palace, with Wilfred Zaha's 31st-minute penalty sending down to former Palace coach Roy Hodgson's current side. Those were the local, international and sports stories for the day. For more updates, stay tuned and keep watching TTV.
You've just heard the live feed from the TTV studios on TFM 95.4. Let's talk.